the world's most lifelike picture. SUHD TV. Recipe for Success. Proudly brought to you by Samsung.
Welcome to Recipe for Success. Now, we all know how difficult it is to land a job these days, let alone that dream job. Every week, a student chef has to cook a dish for one of South Africa's top chefs. And if they're good enough, they'll walk away with a job offer. They'll have to impress the chef with their preparation, cooking skills, and presentation to get this job. So it's all up to them. I'll also be chatting to some of South Africa's leading entrepreneurs to find out more about their food and wine preferences and to get their recipe for success. And then there's still the viewers competition. But let's get straight down to business. This week's student is from Boksburg.
Hi, I'm Marista. My story starts with myself, my mother and my sister. It's always been basically us three, the Three Musketeers, and from a young age I started finding myself and expressing myself through cooking due to life's hard knocks. My mom used to work a lot and she'd come home late and she'd be tired, so my sister and I decided, hey, let's have dinner ready, you know, make her feel better, make the work less, and that's where it started. Currently I just completed my diploma in hot and cold foods. Thereafter, I want to start my pastry course, which I'm very excited for. My dream one day is definitely having my own kitchen where I can have paid internships while people study. How I feel about being on the show is definitely nerve-wracking. I think everyone here feels like that, but I'm excited because we all love that rush, and once it's over, you'll be able to say, hey, I did this, I completed this, and I'm proud of myself. So, as nervous as we are, I think we're all really excited. The potential job offer, bonus, I want to show people who I am, what I can do, and I'm going to do it until my best. I want to show what I'm made of, and I'm definitely excited to do that.
Well, I think that Arista's got the fighting spirit, the type of spirit that one needs to be successful in this type of job. And I think this is a great opportunity for her, and I wish her all the best.
Okay, Arista, I see you've got all your prep done for today. How are you feeling? Are you feeling a bit nervous?
A lot nervous.
So it's all out here. You know, Pieter Vlok is coming in today. He's the chef at Montmarie restaurant, one of our top chefs, very experienced guy. You've got to impress him today. I know you've cooked this before, so I mean, this must be one of your favorite dishes to cook.
Definitely.
So you know what to do.
Yes.
Okay. I'm rooting for you. I know you can do it. Let's see where you might be working after today's episode.
In the lap of casual luxury, Montmarie offers a unique food, wine and family experience in a spectacular country setting. The restaurant offers exquisite views overlooking a beautiful dam against the backdrop of blue-grey mountains. Using only the freshest ingredients, Chef Pieter Vlok adds authentic flavors to a variety of mouth-watering dishes full of South African personality. Thoughtful care is taken over preparing their own stock, sauces, ice creams, and even aging meat. Fresh bread is baked each and every day, such as focaccia, farm-style, and sourdough breads. Ingredients are sourced mostly from the Boland area, which means that the menu changes regularly according to the availability of fresh produce, which keeps Pieter and his team challenged and inspired. His ideas are bold and fresh, and it is important to Pieter to present real food perfectly. For inspiration, Montmarie casts about in South African, Asian, and European cuisine. They strive for excellence in their food, wine, and service in a relaxed atmosphere.
Hey, Pieter, good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
I know you're a busy guy, but thanks for making the time to come and see us. Pieter, Arista. Arista, Pieter. So, Arista, like I said earlier, you've got to impress this guy. I mean, he makes delicious food. So if you want to get the opportunity to work in his kitchen today, I mean, this is a unique opportunity to impress him. But I believe you can do it. Like I said, it's something you've done before, you know, so you know what to do and you know it's delicious. So just do the same thing. It's not up to me today, though. He's going to have to make the last decision. So, Pieter, it's up to you. I'm only going to be observing. So over to you.
Okay, Arista, what are we making today?
I'm making a spinach cannelloni topped with some tomato jam and some fresh spinach on the side.
Sounds delicious.
How long is it going to take?
Looking at about less than an hour, not more than an hour.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
So am I.
Okay, crack on.
So when I started off, I was quite anxious. I didn't really know what to expect. I was just hoping for the best. When I first got a look at my working space, I was like, oh, you know, they're quite far, but once you're standing there and, you know, people are concentrated and is she cutting the onion now? So that was, I felt very claustrophobic very quickly for the first time. I started off with smoking my camembert by placing some herbs into a pot and then resting the camembert on a cooling rack and covering it with some foil. I then brought it up to a high temperature so that it could start the smoking process. I then started roughly chopping my onion with the garlic and ginger and sautéed it over a low heat. Whilst my camembert was smoking, I blanched my spinach and rocket mixture in some boiling water. In the meantime, I cut the tomatoes into medium slices. I then melted my sugar over a low heat and added it with the tomatoes. I then added salt and pepper for some seasoning. After blanching the spinach and rocket mixture, I shocked it in some cold water to stop the cooking process. Thereafter, I roughly chopped it and added it to my onions to sauté for a further 5 minutes. I then seasoned it with generous amounts of pepper and some salt. As the spinach came along, I brought the cream to a boil and then added my melted cheese. To my cream mixture, I added some smoked paprika and salt and pepper to taste. So when I got my smoked cheese and wanted to get the melted bits out for my sauce, I wasn't thinking clearly and let it kind of explode in my hand, and it looked cheesy but I think it got into the pot eventually and a lot of it on my hand, but we got that in and the sauce was fine, so I could go forward with that.
Simply add items during wash. Add wash. Recipe for Success, proudly brought to you by Samsung. Finally, a fridge you can personalize. Top mount freezer. Recipe for Success, proudly brought to you by Samsung.
When I finally got to fill my cannelloni with the spinach, the first two were done perfectly, and when I came to my third cannelloni, law has it that it would explode. I pressed a little bit too hard, just a little, and it came down. Luckily, only a piece of the cannelloni broke off, so I could still go ahead and finish that up. Once my cannelloni cases were filled, I placed them into my camembert sauce and sprinkled it lightly with some parmesan, just for some extra taste. I then placed my cannelloni into the oven and baked it for 20 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius. So my food's coming along, there's a few minutes left and I'm excited to see what happens. Whilst my cannelloni was baking in the oven, I then continued to monitor my jam until it had reached jam stage. And then I was ready to plate. Right, chefs, I'm done and ready when you are.
Great, Arista, it smells good. Peter, what do you think?
Yeah, it looks good.
How did you do on time?
A little bit longer than 45 minutes, but close.
But you're not going to get penalized on that, so it's fine, Arista. I can't wait to taste it. You can start preparation for plating so long, and while you do that, last week I had a chat with Brett Kamei, founder of Angel Hub Ventures, to find out more about his recipe for success. So Brett, good to see you today. I know you're a busy guy. Thanks for making the time to enjoy a glass of wine with me and to share, just to share your experiences and hopefully we get some great tips from you as well today regarding, what entrepreneurs should do out there to become successful. So thank you very much.
Great, nice to be here.
So tell us a little bit more about, what you do.
So I'm one of the partners in a venture capital fund. Some people are familiar with that term, but loosely in South Africa it means we find young businesses that have the potential to become global successes, and we help them on their journey. So we do an assessment of the things that their strengths and their weaknesses, and we look for those ones that have some really strong strengths, if I can put it that way, and the ones that have the ambition and the characteristics that make them at least stand a strong chance of being able to get onto the global stage, state a claim, and hopefully build a business that makes some good money and makes them something that we as South Africans can be proud of, and ultimately not only for the entrepreneurs and the country, but also for shareholders, that everybody makes money out of it, and again, we get more entrepreneurs who can then go out and do the same.
So, Brett, I mean, you also an entrepreneur. I mean, you started somewhere. You obviously have a passion for entrepreneurs as well. Where did it all start for you?
So I took one of the slightly different routes in that you get many guys who jump out of high school and immediately they're building their own businesses. I've always been doing things alongside. So I've held just about any job I can think of. I mean, everything from in high school as a runner. I mean, I was too young to be a waiter, so I started as a runner. I worked as a cashier. I sold gear locks. I sold skateboard parts, and all the way through till later on in life, when I was holding down a regular corporate job and within sort of the banking sector, and that I kept investing into things on the side, and very often learning some very expensive lessons. And I often tell people, I've paid off my house, taken money out of the bond. I have a very understanding wife. Taken money out of the bond, invested into a different business, and watched and seen, and each of those times learned more and more lessons. And I think that's what this game is about. It's about experimenting and learning what works and making sure that you carry those lessons with you, because I think that's one of the things too many people miss is it's okay to fail, but it's you have to actually make sure you understand why. And so I've always had that passion for getting involved with young businesses, but I don't see myself as necessarily the big ideas person, but I like to help those people with the ideas. So I like to help with the implementation, making sure that that next step is achieved.
A little bit more about you, Brett. I mean, do you cook at home at all? Do you like, what do you like? A good steak, some red wine? Do you have time for that?
I love my red wines and that. I'm a total wine pleb. So I attempt to keep my wine rack full, but I knew the day that when I went to one wine competition, and the one that I said, sure, this specific wine, for me it's the worst out of the bunch, that was the one that won. I knew then that I must just stick to enjoying it and not necessarily trying to either make it or describe it. So I love to have a wine, and especially in Stellenbosch, you can't help but, we have wine farms around every corner. But I enjoy all sorts of food. So I love a good steak. I love seafood. Anything that's got a good, strong flavor, I'm game for.
Brett, and then finally, your recipe for success.
I would think that this is, we all have amazing similar ingredients. I think the recipe each of us is going to make up as we go along, and I think everybody's journey is a little bit different. So for me, it's very much about those ingredients, and I think it's about resilience. And I think fundamentally that's one of the most important things, because we're going to get knocked down a lot, and we're going to experience many difficulties and many obstacles. And for me, an entrepreneur is somebody who has the resilience to get up again, even if it's the 10th time, understand why, and move on, and not sit there going, woe is me, look, I got knocked down. And I think if you can have that, almost anything else becomes possible. And then I think secondly, if you have the ability to understand your shortcomings and your strengths, work on those strengths, and find ways to build in either through other people or just through the willingness to learn. That's one of the characteristics that defines someone. And because a lot of people go, I'm not at this. It's like, well, you know what, try. learn about it. You don't have to be the best at that. And very often people are amazed at what they're capable of. Everything else, you know, finding something that you're passionate about, finding something that you can work in, all of that will come together. But if you're resilient and you're willing to learn, I think you've actually got everything you need to go out there and find what'll make you happy and what'll fulfill your definition of success, not somebody else's.
Brett, thank you very much. Once again, I know you're a busy guy, so thanks for making time. I really enjoyed having a chat with you. Cheers. Thanks.
Cheers. Thank you.
Now, there was a lot of tips for all the young entrepreneurs out there. Arista, you can start plating and then we'll see you at final presentation. Cool. Good luck.
Thank you. With plating, at first I had a set picture in my mind, and I completely changed it, but changed it for a positive, spiced it up a little bit, and tried to bring more colour through, and I think the colour was really great. Yeah, I was quite happy with the presentation.
Works and plays together perfectly. Note 7, Gear Classic. Recipe for Success, proudly brought to you by Samsung. Everything you need to succeed. Samsung. Business in a box. Recipe for Success, proudly brought to you by Samsung.
When I was about to present my food, my heart sat in my feet. It's that moment of, okay, I know I'm gonna get judged. I know I can't be happy or sad like very quickly or just smile. It's very nerve-wracking knowing that you are going to be judged, knowing that someone does look for your faults and needs to point them out so that you can do better. Alright, so I've plated my meal. I do hope you enjoy it. I'm quite happy with the results. Okay.
Nice. So tell us a bit more what it is.
Okay, I've got some spinach cannelloni over here, topped with some roasted tomatoes, and we've got a tomato jam on top with a nice smoky sauce.
Nice.
Dig in.
Are you I mean, I love Italian food. This is kind of different, isn't it?
It is. Nice twist. Presentation is nice.
Very nice. So it's vegetarian basically, isn't it?
Throughout vegetarian. You can add meat, you're more than welcome to, but
It's always great when you can make vegetarian taste delicious, you know. I love that. So I'm looking forward to tasting it. But it looks beautiful. I mean, it's, you know, sometimes it's plated very simply, and I think you've done a bit more work on that. It was interesting to see how you did the tomatoes, because you didn't fry them, it was just like heated. Was that the idea? Or do you normally like add, you didn't want to add more flavor like with garlic or whatever, so just to keep that freshness. Okay. Nice, so let's taste.
When they started tasting, I felt relieved, but I think it's a very warm, hearty dish, so I knew it wasn't going to be awful, but it might have its own mistakes in it, such as something being raw or undercooked or overcooked. So yeah, it was intense.
So Peter, what do you think?
I think it's very well balanced, seasoned, very nice. It pairs very well with the wine. I like it, it's rustic. Seasoning well. I think maybe a little bit of texture would have been nice, maybe a little bit more texture. Pasta's cooked brilliantly. I actually love Italian food, and this is very nice.
I'm going to leave you to think a little bit more about whether you want to offer a job or not, Arista, and I know you're quite anxious to get the verdict, but you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. It's now competition time.
There are almost 250,000 Rand in prizes to be won in our Recipe for Success viewer competition, which includes A full lifestyle solution worth over 100,000 Rand from Samsung, comprising of a Galaxy S7 Edge smartphone, a Galaxy Tab S2 tablet, a color laser multi-function printer, a 55-inch curved SUHD TV, a water wall dishwasher, a top-mount freezer, and a hot blast convection microwave oven. From Capsicum, a City and Guilds diploma bursary in food preparation. From Fine and Fabulous Neo Group SA, Jean de Bois Lecoil 24-piece French cutlery set. From Grand Cru Glassware, 8 Riedel varietal specific glasses. And from Mervyn Gurr Ceramics, a handmade crockery set for 4. Only one lucky viewer will win all of these prizes. You can enter via SMS or on our website. To qualify for the grand prize, you need to correctly answer one of our viewers' competition questions. The more you enter, the better your chances. The competition closes on Sunday, the 4th of December at midnight, and the winner will be announced right after the last episode on the 6th of December, 2016. For more information and terms and conditions, please visit www.recipeforsuccess.tv. This week's question is, what was Brett Kumail's recipe for success? Was it A, be resilient, B, never wear brown shoes, C, flip a coin for important decisions? Please SMS Samsung followed by your answer A, B or C to 41703 or enter on our website www.recipeforsuccess.tv.
So Peter, do you think you've got space for Arista in your kitchen?
We have a very small kitchen at Montmarie. We all do work as a team. We can work, you can only learn. I will teach you in every possible way that I can. But like I said, it is tough work. But at the end of the day, we all walk out of there with a smile. Same goal in mind, make the customers happy. And yeah, I'm sure we do.
Yeah, and I mean, you started with, working in some of the top places in South Africa. And what I admire about what you do is, we decided, the style of food that you want to cook is different to what you were used to.
Yes.
But it's still excellent and wholesome food.
Steal and learn as much as you can. I believe in, like I said, real food. Just yummy, yummy food.
So what do you think?
I think we should give this a go. Yeah, you look passionate. Hard work will always pay off.
You can look happy and you can stay looking happier. It's better that way than looking nervous.
Yeah, and I also believe in also having fun in what we do. So,
and your menu changes all the time as well.
No, we change the menu regularly, seasonally. Open for all ideas. We work as a team. We don't discriminate against rank or anything like that. I'm in the kitchen every day, and we all treat each other with respect.
Well, Arista, I think there's only positives here. First of all, you're coming down to Cape Town, that's one. Secondly, you're going to work in Stellenbosch at a great restaurant. You're going to learn a lot of new things. And, for a young student like you, that's the most important thing, that you learn and you keep on learning. And give yourself time to do that, whether it's 2 years or 3 years. And this is already a great start. So congratulations. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Well done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Peter, thanks for your time. I really appreciate it, man. Good spending time with you as well. Thanks. Thanks for watching. See you next week.
I would just like to thank Chef Ruben, Chef Peter, and Samson for giving me this amazing opportunity that I cannot wait to utilize and use it as a stepping stone to start an amazing career.
You won't believe what you can make in a microwave. Hot Blast. Recipe for Success, proudly brought to you by Samsung.